Alright, so I didn't bring my tongs with me, so I couldn't reset that trap. But usually it's, you know, take a trap, leave a trap kind of thing where if I got a beaver in there, I'll just, more like that because the snow don't find them. That's not work. It's not work. It's not work. Okay, try this. Yes. Okay. Well. Okay. Death grip on key. Wait. I think I like the death grip this way. Dear, that's secured. Okay. So I got to get going back. I got the trap under enough, so I'm not worried about that. Locked it off a little bit more. Hopefully this time I'm not upset about it. See what the beaver did to my poor trap? You hurt my poor trap. Alright, okay, anyway, yeah, so carry them like that. One thing about carrying traps is your hands get cold really, really quick. So I try to hook them in such a way, especially with a wet trap. Next thing you know, your hands are like pretty much frozen to the trap. It's like, yeah, it's still open there, so they'll be using that until she's frozen over anyway. They might get another week. I'd like to really wonder how big he was. That was definitely a beaver, though. Like you can see all that. I can kind of see the evidence around there, so they're there. That's good. So the only thing is, I don't know if he was coming out of the house or coming up the dam. The last one was definitely coming up the dam, so he was coming from down there. Not much of a hill there, but holy smokes. So today the beavers may have won this battle, but the next time, I tell you, the beaver madness that can ensue. The beaver madness that can ensue. Yeah, so right now, your traps should always be under the water, period. 2 inches, whatever. But it's hard this time of year. My fingers get cold already. Use my arm. Freeze my arm instead. At least not cold today, or else this thing would be like really cold. But this time of year, what happens is your ice forms up thin, and then the water level drops or raises, because beavers will raise and lower the water, like until the dam gives way. Anyway, like the dam they had on us was so big, like it was deep. It was really deep. It was about 10-15 feet deep. So that wall finally just gave way. But they can, you'll see, you'll be trapping, and this is why you can't trust the ice either, is the beavers, when they want to get through when the ice gets too thick, what they do is they let water go. And they create like an air pocket, maybe an inch or two, just to drop the ice down a bit. And what happens is just the weight of the ice itself, you know, across like a lake or something, if it goes down an inch, you know, that's several billion pounds of ice, right? It'll just crack, and then they can get through it. So they'll raise it, lower it as they need, if they need. They don't do it that often, but sometimes you'll come back, it's like the water's down like a foot, and the ice is all busted. And then 3 weeks later, it's all right back to where it was. And that's them. They're just, middle of the winter time, they just pull the plug out of the dam for a little bit and whatever. But this one, they haven't like plugged it. So I'm thinking they're coming up rather than at that beaver house there. In the summertime, I'm going to do a good canoe expedition in there. Really get in there and, you know for sure, you know what I mean? Okay, they're coming in this way, they're going here, they're going there. I'll be set up better next year. But what I'm going to do is next year is take the time to get, you know, all sorted out for the season. That wind's going to go. So hopefully next year I can, because they caught those trappers, those Because there's guys that actually get paid to trap. You know, you can offer your service like that if you're set up for it. I'm not set up for it. I don't have enough traps, A, and B, you know, like I'm just not set up for it, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't realize how hard a work that is. Now, if you were charging people, say, I don't know, okay, every time I come and check the traps, it's, you know, $40, depends on how far they live. They live forever and away, it's $100 each time, right? Because your pickup truck's going to spend, you know, you got to spend that in gas. You might, you know, you got to drive an hour just to go check a trap, whether you got something or not, right? So yeah, trapping beavers out is probably not the cheapest thing to do, but there are guys that do it locally. So for the locals, it's not so bad because they, you know, hire a guy like me or whatever. And I usually get asked every now and then, Reg, can you come and get my beavers? But I can only do so much, right? And like, if you're not making enough money doing this, right, it's hard to put aside your paying job to go do this, right? So right now I got like one beaver, which might only be worth $5. You know what I mean? So it's like, do I even take them, waste the gas to take them to the fur trade? I'm going to anyway, just because that or I can get him tanned, but he's not a really nice pelt, so he's not worth getting tanned. I'm going to take him just to see what he's worth. You know what I mean? So just to see how the fur prices are going to do this year, because I know they have went up a bit, and the fur offerings have went down by about half. So it means there's about half the trappers. So that's a lot of people from the past 3 years that went out of business. You know what I mean? Forget the name of the auction house in the States. The big one they had went out of business, but that was kind of more due to bad investments in mink trappers and mink ranchers and fox ranchers. They overinvested in it and it didn't pay off. And right now, muskrats, okay, a couple of years ago, muskrats weren't worth that much. And then around 2012 to 2014, muskrats were like $10-15 a piece. Like that was like the ultimate thing. The Chinese military was buying them up, them and the beavers, right? So what had happened is the prices for muskrats went like through the roof. Muskrat, yeah, who would ever thought, right? And last year, they barely sold any. Like, nobody bought muskrats. Raccoons, they didn't buy them. So, there's still a market for beaver, otter, stuff like that, but otter went up a bit. Not to where it was, but they went up a bit. And then, of course, beavers went up a little bit too, not to where it was. I mean, when I was getting like $100 and some odd bucks a beaver, between 45 and 100 and some odd bucks a beaver, that wasn't bad, right? But right now they're about, like the last time they were like average of $5. Now they're averaging about 20. So you know, they went up a bit. It's still not great, but you know, is what it is. So like again, it was one of those things when I first moved back home in 2008. You know, I wanted to find an industry that I could work in where I'm not reliant on like a regular job, right? I wanted to say, okay, how can I make money from home kind of thing? And that was the one way. And, you know, so a couple of years in a row, 2012 to I got my trapping license again in 2009, right? About a year after, I had to take the course and all that. Because when I was a kid, there was no courses or anything like that, which I do agree with the courses, because they teach you a lot, right? And one of the reasons why I do this whole series is to educate people on how to do stuff. Now, Season 8 has been more about me blabbing away, whatever, but if you watch the Season 7, you will not find Seasons 1 to 7, because they were on another channel that got banned, right? So, you'll never find those, unfortunately. But there was some great knowledge that was shown in that, and a lot of good trapping techniques shown in Season 7, but it's the day in the life of what a trapper does kind of thing, right? And yeah, everybody does it different. And the one thing that makes it interesting is that you learn, because people don't like to usually talk about trapping, because it is a sensitive issue, right? Like everything these days. But the thing is people can't learn how to do it right unless somebody's a bit of an ambassador about it, right? So you wouldn't call me an ambassador about it, ambassador, but you would call me a guy who had his trap violated by a beaver. So that makes me practically a professional, because now stuff just got real. Anyway, I don't take the beaver's treachery of my trap too personally.